Happy Friday. Amy and Samir here for the book club for movies. We will be talking about Down with Love, which is why I look like this, because it takes place in the early 60s, and I have this wig and a pink jacket. Yeah, but hey guys, and hello Samir, happy Friday. How's your Friday going?
Oh, it's been a busy day, but I'm ready for my lunch break, Mrs. DeMille.
This wig is more comfortable than it looks, actually.
I'm just impressed with the variety of wigs that you possess.
There's so many wigs I want. There's one I've been eyeing. I saw on Amazon that was like this perfect, like blonde, like 80s rock wig, and I want it. And it's not even that expensive. I should just get it, even though I don't have.
You should just get it
right now.
Crystal, I was just telling Amy, I was like, she's a hair hopper.
Luke, it is a wig. It is a wig. If you want to purchase this wig yourself, you can also find it available on Amazon. I already had this. I did not buy it just for this. But we have a fun day. Down with Love is one of Samir and I's favorite movies. It's just so adorable and fun and crazy, and we love it. But before that, let's talk about yesterday's film. Yesterday was our second of 4 Cat Thursdays we're doing for Genre Thursday. Yesterday's was the documentary Ketty. Samir, what did you think of this?
I thought this was wonderful. This was so cute. I like I said, like cats make them like such great visual subjects. Like just I can't believe that there are not more somebody else had not already done a documentary like this.
Well, like that one critic said, this was the Citizen Kane of cat documentaries.
But it really kind of is, It stands out because of the cultural specificity, and it's interesting to hear like all these people's, it's basically sort of a movie almost about the awakening of humanity in people by animals. And the cats seem to function like that for all the people in this city who love them. Like it's sort of like it's almost like a spiritual thing. It's something that connects them to something better in themselves in a way. And so I loved how invested all these people are, and each at first I was wondering, how are they going to just randomly follow all these different cats? And I'm like, oh, because some of these cats just sort of picked a random cafe or some artist or some fisherman is like, this is my place I come back to.
Yeah.
And so like they talk about them running the neighborhoods, and like it was just so fun to really focus on seeing all the things cats do. I don't know. It's like it's better than a cat video on YouTube. That's for damn sure.
It is. And I was this is the second time I've seen this, and I was so happy watching this movie. This time I was watching it with my cat Lydia sitting on my lap the whole time asleep, and I was just like, I'm watching kitties, and I'm sitting here with a kitty, and I'm just so happy. Yeah, but it's just like a delightful documentary, and I really love granted, I mean, I'm sure there are many people in the city who probably think the cats are super annoying, but not the people that they showed in the documentary. And everyone just, as I said yesterday, you really see this beautiful relationship between humans and animals and how they could function together in this human-dominated city. Mm. And they all just kind of take care of each other. And these humans, they benefit from the cats too, whether, they're just like, I just love petting this cat. There's the one man who was talking about how, he really feels like these cats like saved him, and he's there every day feeding these cats, and these cats
carrying bags of fish through the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was very popular with the kitties. Very, very popular.
But you also saw lots of random people. There's lots of shots of just people, like the cat comes by and you see people are just putting food down everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just like the owner of a cafe or just this one guy. It's like you see random people everywhere. Like, that's their normal response. It's like, oh, there's a cat and it's hungry. They just take something off their plate and put it down there. Bless you. Put it down there for the cat. Then you see where the cat takes it. Because, you know, I feel like it also hints at a certain curiosity that a lot of us have about cat behavior in general. Like, we see some of it, but like, it's really interesting to see all the actual animal characteristics sort of observed, almost not quite scientifically, but almost like that. You know, they try to stay away from interfering in whatever the cats are doing. They're not trying to influence it. They're literally just trying to follow them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have, especially street cats, like they have these dramatic lives, you know, whether they're fighting for turf or fighting over a mate.
Right? I love the one cat where the guy's like, oh no, she doesn't let anybody near him, and she eats first. He always eats after she's finished. She keeps him. She's like very much in control of that relationship. And he's like, I love it. And like, I don't want to see anything. I don't ever want to see her sacrifice her freedom. I don't want, you know, so it's like it's just, and then how they all have running tabs at vets. So everyone's like, isn't it expensive to like go out and get medicine and take all these cats in and they're not even really your cats?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, everybody has a tab at the vet.
At every vet in town.
So it's like you will never have to worry about whether or not you can take that cat in to get treated. And of course, I'm somebody who was like very emotional about animals. So I mean, I've had, you know, I'm the kind of person who, like, if I see a sick cat anywhere, I'll be like, let's pick it up and take it to the vet and get it. Like, I don't care whose cat it is or if it's a wild fear, whatever. I'm just like, we need to help this cat. Like, I am that person who would be just like that. So maybe we should, you know, in a fantasy world where it's totally perfect for us to move to Istanbul, like someday.
Yeah, I
want to be one of these people with these fabulous apartments that like a cat will just occasionally wander into.
That's my dream. That is my dream.
And you can just give it a can of tuna, pet it, and then it goes on its way to have its adventures. And hopefully some brilliant filmmaking team is following it with their specially made rigs to like peruse the streets at cat level to like you mentioned yesterday, like it's so seamlessly done. And it is just fun to also edit animal footage into a narrative. Like, you can create any narrative you want out of these shots. And cats just give you so much material to work with. Like, just imagine the multitudes of other stories they could have told just from observing them for a few days. Like, I thought it was so cool. Like, I don't think they should keep doing documentaries exactly like this. Let's just let this one be what it is and be special.
Documentary circle, but it also definitely made me want to visit this city. I mean, it obviously for the cats, but thank you, Walter. Not only for the cats, but I thought it really showed that Istanbul was a beautiful city, at least the parts that they showed. And I would like to go there and eat at a restaurant on the water and have a man walk by, followed by 20 cats and kittens, and I would just ditch my table, throw whatever money I have, like, I will follow this man and the cats, and that could be how I meet my future husband. Who knows?
Amy, the cat lady of Istanbul. She once was an actress of some renown in the United States until she was enamored by the film Ketty. And her whole life shifted.
She gave it all up for cats.
Wouldn't be the worst thing, I guess. Just as long as you don't leave your fortune to cats in the end, okay?
Well, that could eventually turn out okay in the Aristocats if only the butler had stuck it out.
If only he'd stuck it out. He would have... Oh, idiot. Idiot. See, look, if he had been from Istanbul, he probably would have been totally fine with that arrangement. And he wouldn't have been angry. He would have been all happy and excited. But no. See, this is how lovely life can be if you are kind to kitties.
Exactly. It could be a beautiful, beautiful life for all involved. Well, if you didn't see Ketty, this was available on YouTube Red and Canopy. Canopy's the one we were really plugging, and that's the one, if you have a library card at a participating library, you could sign up and access this amazing good film selection for free. You have a limit. Samir gets 10 a week. I get 7 a month. I don't understand how that works. It just depends on what
I
library.
think it's actually 10 a month now that I look at it.
Okay.
Although I don't,
Still, it's
I
more
have to
than
check
me.
it again.
It's more than me.
But it is still more than 7. That's
Yeah.
true. That's like,
Yeah.
maybe we just have more stuff in the Bay Area libraries than Coronado does. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Coronado is a small library, so maybe they base it on how much that particular library contributes to the area. Yeah, but just a delightful movie. If you need a pick me up this weekend and want to watch cute cats, watch this because it's just so delightful. I really had a smile on my face, I think, the whole time, which is a ongoing theme with these cat movies that we pick.
And so many beautiful cats too.
Yes, cats. They talked a little bit about the history about how there's a port there, and so like these cats would be on ships that would come in from other parts of the world, and they'd get off, and they would just like the boat might leave without them. They're like, cool, I'm just gonna stay here. So there's really this great mix of cats that are there. Oh, and all the kittens. There's so many kittens in this movie too.
Someday, Amy. Someday.
Someday I'll go to Istanbul. Yeah, but please watch Ketty. But today is Down with Love. The way is it? How does it go? The Flowers and something. Zoom, Down with Love, The Root of All Midnight Blues.
I can't remember all the lyrics.
Well, no. Pain, down with love, let's take it away. Take it away. This is one that Samir and I have been talking about doing for a while, and we knew so we have to do this. We have to do this for February. This is one of our favorite romantic comedies. This is a movie that didn't necessarily, I got good reviews, but also some mixed things, but pretty much everyone I know that has watched this movie loves this movie.
Yeah.
Thinks that it's so cute and fun. It's this total parody of old Doris Day, Rock Hudson comedies or romantic comedies from the early 60s. Some of it is just even directly taken from that. But this movie came out in 2003. In 1962, New York City, love blossoms between a Playboy journalist and a feminist advice author. This has a great cast of Renee Zellweger, Ewan McGregor, Sarah Paulson, one of her earlier film roles.
I remember.
Those are some of those are really the main four in this film. But this movie is just like visually amazing. The costumes are amazing. It's Renee Zellweger is like the cutest thing in the world in this. It has, if you haven't seen it before, it definitely has like twists in it.
Yes, really fun twists, like in a way that like it's the whole movie it's a really good. I don't know. Would you call it? I'd say it's a little bit more satirical than just straight parody.
Yeah,
I think because it really mines all the weird sort of qualities of those Doris Day movies. I remember this screenwriter and this novelist and screenwriter named J. Preston Allen. She called these movies the delayed fuck movies. Or like because like you couldn't have sex before marriage, so there was like the whole movie was like them not. It was about them wanting to do it but never actually doing it. But you get all these crazy like pillow talk with the party line deal, and a lot of these movies where this happens, like it's totally mining all of those details from those films, and it's not just like mocking them. I think there's a lovingness to the mockery because they appreciate the color and the mod sensibility of the visuals and the costumes from that era. Is like they really get all those details right and then amp everything up like another notch, so like into another level of comedy. And everybody's like in on the joke, like everyone nobody ever breaks. There's never I mean there's sort of like a tongue-in-cheek quality, but it's not always like a wink wink at the audience kind of like, oh, aren't we all better than this kind of comedy. It's very much I'm enjoying the fun and frivolity and contradictions of these movies and the ridiculous plots. That monologue, if you haven't seen it, when you get to that monologue, it is one of the funniest things, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, over 3-minute take of a monologue, and that's all we're going to say about that. But it's so good. Yeah, as Luke's pointing out here, this is directed by Peyton Reed, who, he has quite a variety of films. He did Bring It On.
I remember that. They filmed that part of it in San Diego.
They did. And he has done the 2 Ant-Man films, and he's doing the 3rd one coming out. He's directed some big TV shows as well, including a couple episodes of The Mandalorian, New Girl, and he's done stuff with Upright Citizens Brigade. I wonder if he did, if he went there.
I think this is his best work.
Yeah. Well, this is certainly like, it's so perfectly stylized. I mean, if anything, even if you think this movie is like, okay, this is just like, kind of cute or whatever, it's everything in this movie is perfect. All the sets, they built all of these sets. They built, I read it was like 30 sets or something across like 4 sound stages. Every single costume was made for this film. Even I remember watching, of course, I own this movie on DVD. I remember Sarah Paulson in that talking about how they were even directed to speak almost in like a little bit of a rhythmic sing-song type way. Like, how are you doing? Like, there's this, if you notice that, everyone has this little rhythm to their own dialogue and character.
They even play music behind a lot of their just plain dialogue. Like there's a bit of a performance with people even almost kind of dancing around the room. They're turning all of their movements and like the way they dress and get ready. All of these little things almost become little dance and music numbers because they're always giving you backup music to them going through what they're going to do here and this and that. So it just, all those touches, like you said, it just is there's something about this movie that just feels perfect. Like there's nothing out of place. Every place where they push a little to go a little more over the top feels like just the right place to do it. They know, like, the actors are so well directed and they really inhabit these characters so well that they know exactly what to do and when. Like, I felt like this must have been such a fun set to work on too. This is one of those movies where you're like, I wish I could have worked with these people on this movie.
Yeah. I also had read that, so at the end of this movie, there's another song. This isn't a musical, but there is a song at the end that's called Here's to Love that plays during the credits. And in that one, Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor both sing in it. And apparently they both asked if they could do that. That wasn't even going to be in the movie, but they had just, 2003, she had just done Chicago. He had just done Moulin Rouge. And they were like, hey, we're kind of known for musicals right now. Let's throw this in there. And I definitely have that song downloaded from iTunes.
And they are just so sparkling in this movie. Like Renee Zellweger looks like she's never had more fun in a movie. Ewan McGregor just is so dashing, and I would like he manages to soften the stereotype of the uber masculine 50s 60s male. Like he's still like sort of playing on those tropes in the character, but somehow he makes them likable because he's such a winsome and like, charming actor. He really knows how to turn on the charm, and you see all of it in this movie.
Oh yeah. I think one of my favorite things in this movie, I mean, there are so many things to love, but one of them is all of the sexual innuendos in this film. Because they kind of play it similar to, in the early 60s where there was only so much you could show on screen, but maybe they could try and sneak things past the production code, although at that point they were sort of easing out of it at that point. But they really play it up here, from things like there's a scene where Ewan McGregor and David Hyde Pierce are talking about socks, and the way they're talking about how like, it stays up all day, and like it's the the future and stuff, and like the secretary listens in, and it sounds like they're talking about their penises, and they're definitely not. They're talking about socks, but it's just it's such a funny movie.
It's almost like, I was just thinking this, it's almost as if the movie is like, the whole movie is like in 60s drag. Like it's like the way drag performance sort of takes the elements of the culture and then amplifies them to point out the ridiculousness and the contradictions and the humor and all these ideas that we have about what it
Yeah.
means to be a man or a woman in society. The movie is doing that all over the place. And of course, you know, drag humor is known for the innuendo and the playing and using common tropes and finding innuendo in them and anything. So this movie is like doing all of that so well. Better get here. That's exactly how I picture you and McGregor in my dreams.
Yeah, they're still talking about the socks, and they were like, "That's just incredible that these socks can stay up without garters, which men used to wear." Apparently, a regular ruler isn't long enough, and the secretary is like, "Better get a yardstick." It's just like.
But like, I even like how they make fun of the idea that like everybody smokes with like, you know, like how much people smoke in movies of this era with Sarah Paulson's character. And they do not let that go. They stay consistent with all of these things. It has a quality of the Ernst Lubitsch movie where like something that you thought that they would make a joke out of something and you think that like, okay, well, you got the joke out of it. You're done with that now. And it's like, no, you are not done with these things. There is more gold to mine out of this thing. And you will be surprised how many ways they can find another joke to tell out of something so simple. It's all through the movie. Like I remember I saw this in theaters. I think I saw it twice in theaters. I took somebody else again. And I was like, oh, we have to go see this movie. You haven't seen it yet? I don't mind seeing it again. Do you want to watch? You know, like that kind of excitement of this movie. And then I bought it on DVD when it came out because I needed to have this movie. And even though I lost the case in San Diego before I moved to Berkeley. And I still kept that DVD. I just put it in another case and I brought it with me with my 400 other movies or whatever I brought with me at the time.
I have my.
That's how much I liked it. This is another one I brought with me. I didn't leave it behind.
This came in a hot pink DVD case at the time.
It was really cute.
Yeah. This really just highlights all of the issues with the 60s too. Well, not all of them. They should probably talk about racism. It does not. But certainly sexism goes well into that. I mean, that's so, you know, we say that she's this feminist author. She writes this book called Down with Love, and it has this revolutionary idea of women can have sex like a man, and they can have sex a la carte, and they don't need to get married, like, you know, and all these men are very confused by this. It's like, well, if women stop falling in love, then, you know, the whole population will cease to exist. And she's like, I didn't say stop sex. I just said stop love. And they're, you know, it's just this completely preposterous idea. But this movie is, I love it. I love this movie so much. I have, Samir knows about this. I have a Down with Love cocktail shaker that I randomly got at 20th Century Fox or at a Fox Studios Baja. The one time I've been there, they didn't film any of it down there to my knowledge, but I guess just because it was a little bit closer to that time and this is a Fox film, they had this, and I was like 15 and I said, well, I need this. I don't make cocktails now, but I love this movie, and I will always keep my Down with Love pink cocktail shaker.
Well, you can always make yourself a nice lime Ricky or something in it, you know?
Yeah, I have used it now. I have used it for to make cocktails now. But if you want to watch this movie, this is available to rent. So you check it out there. This movie is to you what Clue is to me. I could respect that. Yeah,
I love Clue.
Clue's good too. I like this movie more. But yeah, please give it a watch this weekend. Again, I'm pretty sure it's only available to rent. I looked through all of my streaming things, and I think it's only available to rent unless you own it like we do. Yeah, but it's so fun. I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to make some popcorn. I'm going to eat some chocolate, have a glass of Chardonnay, and have like a girly night with my mom and my cat. Watching this movie.
I made spiced molasses cookies, and I'll have cocoa.
That sounds good too. As long as you have chocolate. Chocolate isn't.
I don't have a kitty.
Movie. You have to eat chocolate when you watch this film. It is Friday, which is our Patreon Appreciation Friday. And we actually, I haven't told you this, Samir. We have a new Patreon. We have a new Mr. Brian. I'm going to butcher your name, Packiliak. Bakili?
Chiliac?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. But thank you. Thank you very much. He is our new production assistant. We have the screenwriters of My Aunt Julia LaJoie, Crystal Mayer. I've got a lot of production assistants here with Nicole Flax Tatlick, Andres Gallego, Donna Robinson, Brian, whatever your last name is. And Mr. Walter Murray, who again also Venmos me money. So we also consider him to be a screenwriter. He has already given us some selections for next month. If you are interested in being a Patreon as well, let us know. I will include the link over here in the comments. But this, this is all adding up. This really helps us so much. Again, it costs $30 a month for me to even pay for Be Live. And then from there, Samir and I split whatever is left after that $30. And we both have lots of streaming things that we pay for, and we rent movies too. And it does help a lot. And we really, really appreciate it.
Lovely to see the list growing, even, tiers starting from $2, anybody at any level. It's just nice to see more people watching and enjoying it. And it's so much fun for us to do this too. Like I always say, like, this is like the best part of my day, is doing this for people, because I work most of the day, and then of course the nighttime is mine for the movies.
Yes.
But no, it's like, it's just so much fun. This is like what I love to do. So if y'all keep liking it, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, we are still planning on doing this at least through April. We're creeping up on it being the 1-year anniversary of us doing this, and we only set up our Patreon, I think, in like October, November or something. So there's a whole backlog of things here. But thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it. And if anyone else would like to see their name added to that list, I've included our Patreon link in the comments. But this weekend, please watch Down with Love. Oh, what are we talking about on Monday? We've got another fun week planned ahead next week. We'll kick it off with an Oscar-winning performance by Forrest Whitaker in The Last King of Scotland. Then we are doing a really fun, another documentary. We usually don't do a lot of documentaries, but we are talking about, is it Marlon Riggs?
Marlon Riggs.
We're talking about Marlon Riggs. And this is a documentary that I haven't seen. It's called Color Adjustment. It's talking about the representation of Black actors and Black people in general on film and TV and the media. So that's going to be really interesting and fits perfectly with what we're talking about. On Wednesday, we were talking about another Oscar-winning performance with Regina King and If Beale Street Could Talk. That was another Patreon pick. Thursday, we're talking about Gay Paris, another animated French cat movie in Paris. This time with Judy Garland doing one of the voices. And then next Friday is The Philadelphia Story. That's definitely the oldest film of the month that we're doing. But another fun, classic romantic comedy with Mr. Cary Grant. He's always a pleasure, and the lovely Katharine Hepburn, and that's going to be really fun as well. So we've got a good week planned ahead. Now, next Monday, we are going to be talking about Judas and the Black Messiah, which I think is available now on HBO Max. We're going to wait and talk about it and watch it on the 22nd. So if you're an avid watcher, maybe hold off and watch it with us then. Or maybe not. Do we want? But just a suggestion. Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to watching that. I won't cheat. I'll wait until then to watch it.
I'll wait too.
But this weekend, it's all about Down with Love. So tonight, cozy up with a significant other or a pet or a fuzzy blanket, whatever is a comfort object, and eat some chocolate or something else. Let tonight be a cheat night for on things within reason. But I'm so excited to watch this and have my little Down with Love cocktail shaker. But thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you for all of your comments, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
Mwah.
Do